Well, Sebastian Vettel certainly was lucky, wasn't he, on the race day at Abu Dhabi. You know, had the safety cars not come out, then I'm sure Sebastian would have only finished, say, in the minor points positions. But you have to give Vettel credit for, for his performance on Sunday. You have to, say that he took advantage of the safety car situations, him and Red Bull, and they were able to make their strategy work in the end. So you've got to give Sebastian credit. And for him to finish third and to finish just behind Fernando Alonso, his main championship rival, speaks volumes. And for Sebastian's lead to only be cut by 3 points, then you have to praise Sebastian Vettel for the way he performed on Sunday. I admit, yeah, he was lucky, but again, he drove a great race, pulled off some great overtakes, Sebastian Vettel, and for me personally, I thought he thoroughly deserved to finish third. So I thought he's put in a great performance, and he was lucky, but like I said, he deserved to finish third. Regards to your second question, Matt, which is a great one, I think it is fair that he was given the opportunity to change the gearbox and also make change to the setup of the car, because the Red Bull, let's be honest, in qualifying, although Sebastian qualified third, he still wasn't happy with the car. And then obviously we knew what happened after with the fuel. Obviously the FI not having a big enough sample, the 1 litre that's required from each team after qualifying, each driver as well. And then that resulted in Sebastian starting the race from the pit lane. And because Vettel started from the pit lane, obviously the Red Bull team would have had more time to prepare Sebastian's car before the race got underway. If they believed that those changes to the setup would make a difference, then I think it was right for them to make changes to the car. And I think changing the gearbox as well would have made a huge difference for Sebastian. So yeah, I do think it was fair, and I don't think. The other teams haven't exactly put in a complaint about Red Bull having to when they change their car. So yeah, I do think that changing the gearbox and the setup on Sebastian's car before the race at Abu Dhabi was fair. Well, hindsight is a beautiful thing, isn't it, Chris? When you look back at Michael Schumacher's return to Formula 1 with Mercedes, it hasn't been the best of returns, you have to say that. I think Michael has, for me, been disappointing. But having said that, I think Mercedes have been disappointing on the return to Formula 1. They just haven't given both Nico Rosberg and Michael Schumacher the strong car in the pre-season they've been in Formula 1. Obviously, we know that Nico Rosberg won his first ever Grand Prix this season in China. But Mercedes have just been too inconsistent, and Michael Schumacher this season has been so unlucky with his retirements. Retirements that haven't been his fault. Okay, yes, I remember he caused a collision with Bruno Senna in Spain, and he also caused a collision with Jean Verne at the Singapore Grand Prix. But apart from those 2 incidents, all the other retirements Schumacher's had hasn't been his fault. Had Schumacher been in a Ferrari or a Red Bull, then it'd be interesting to see whether he would have challenged the likes of Vettel, Hamilton, Button and Alonso. So yeah, I think the car has played a part in Schumacher not doing as well as he could have done on his return to Formula 1. I do feel sorry for him, but I guess now obviously he's announced his retirement, so whether he stays in Formula 1, which I'm sure he will, whether he'll take an advisory role, I'm sure he'll do that. But Chris, it hasn't exactly been the best of returns to the sport for Formula 1, and for me personally, in the first place, I couldn't understand why Schumacher wants to come back to Formula 1. I have to say, Martin, I was really impressed with Aston Martin's performance at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He put in an excellent qualifying performance. He qualified fourth, but obviously because Sebastian Vettel started the race from the pit lane, Maldonado started the race from third. And Pasta has had his critics this season. We know, obviously, he has caused the collisions. We all remember what happened in Valencia. But Maldonado, he's proven on any given day, when he's on form, he can definitely perform really well in the Williams. He proved that at Abu Dhabi. He proved that at the Spanish Grand Prix, where he won his first ever Formula 1 race. But yeah, Pastor drove an impressive race at Abu Dhabi, and considering he also had a failure with the curves as well, that made his performance even more impressive. And for him to finish, just behind both the McLaren, well, not both McLaren, but behind Jensen in the McLaren, behind Vettel, Alonso, and obviously race winner Kimi Raikkonen. Yeah, I think Pastor Maldonado drove an excellent race, and he thoroughly deserved to finish 5th place. So well done to Pastor, and I really hope he can have a strong end to the season. So can Marussia hold off Caterham for 10th place in the Constructors? Well, finishing 10th is crucial, isn't it, for for TV money and for obviously to have bigger finances. I think Marussia can. I think Marussia, as the season has gone on, they've certainly improved. I think Charles Pique's done a great job. Caterham, he certainly has performed well alongside Timo Glock. I think it's going to be difficult for Caterham to finish 12th this season, but you never know. Never say never, and but I just think that Marussia might just edge Caterham, and psychologically for next season, if Marussia do hold on to 10th in the Constructors, it'll be such a massive boost for John Booth and for his team. But yeah, Marussia, they certainly have improved. As I've said, as the season has gone on, obviously they're ahead of HRT and Caterham in the standings. And if you said to Marussia at the start of the season that they'd finished 10th in the Constructors, they definitely would have taken it. So yeah, I do think Marussia can hold off the challenge from Caterham for 10th place. But we know it's never over, and there's still 2 races to go, and absolutely anything can happen. But to reiterate, and I'll say it again, I think Marussia can stay ahead of Caterham in the Constructors for 10th place. Well, it does look like that the Drivers' Championship is going down to the wire, and that's what the neutral exactly wants. I certainly want that to happen. I just think that on Sunday at Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, you can't blame Fernando Alonso for what he did. He started the race, I think it was 60 started, and he finished 2nd. So you can't really fault Fernando for his performance. Could he have closed down Raikkonen a bit quicker? He could have done, but even so, Kimi was absolutely fantastic on Sunday, and Lotus definitely deserved the win. So well done for Kimi and Lotus. But Fernando, I still think he should be very happy with his performance, and to finish 2nd as well. That was a great performance from Alonso. But Sebastian Vettel was lucky. He was lucky with his safety car, and although I did praise him earlier about him putting in a great performance, in which he did, to come to the back of the field and to finish 3rd was phenomenal, to be honest with you. But the safety car did play its part, and had the safety car not come out, then I'm sure Fernando Alonso would have left Abu Dhabi as leading the Drivers' Championship, but it wasn't to be. But having said that, 10 points, it's not a lot, and it only takes 1 retirement for Sebastian, as I've said in the past. 1 retirement for Sebastian Vettel and 1 win for Fernando Alonso, and Fernando then finds himself leading the Drivers' Championship. So it's not over, and I really hope the Drivers' Championship goes down to the wire at Brazil at the season finale race. Josh, this is a brilliant question. Thank you for sending this in. If I was a team principal, out of the current drivers in Formula 1, which 2 drivers would I take on? There's so many drivers to choose from. You look at Red Bull. Sebastian Vettel, obviously, he's won back-to-back Drivers' Championships. He could make it 3 titles on the trot if he wins the Drivers' Championship this year. Got Fernando Alonso at Ferrari, both McLaren drivers, although Lewis will be going to Mercedes, as we all know, next season. And then you look at the drivers in the midfield teams. Look at the likes of Hulkenberg, Di Resta. You look at Grosjean, and although he has caused collisions, Grosjean on any given day has proven he can be an excellent racing driver. But if I had to pick 2 drivers, firstly I'd pick Fernando Alonso for his consistency, and for him that's the fact that he always gets the best out of the car. And he's proven that at Ferrari. He even proved that at Renault as well. So I picked Fernando Alonso as one of the drivers, and then the other driver, it is difficult because there's so many great drivers out there in Formula One. I guess I would have to say Sebastian Vettel, just for the fact that he's just a phenomenal driver. He's proven last season that he can totally dominate a season. He can totally get the best out of the Red Bull. So yeah, I think I would have Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso. Although I'd have to say I would consider having Lewis Hamilton alongside Fernando Alonso again. Obviously we know that Lewis and Fernando had their problems at McLaren in 2007, but I would consider having Lewis alongside Fernando in my team. But if I did have to choose my two drivers, it would have to be Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, and that could actually be a partnership with Ferrari in 2014. So do continue to keep your fantastic questions coming in to @baggies20 on Twitter, I should say. But yeah, keep sending your questions in, and I look forward to reading them. But for now, cheerio.